Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a final hot take of the evening. Joe Biden. Now, if you got any Joe Biden supporters out there, I have an honest question for you. Can you give me 3 reasons to vote for Joe Biden without mentioning Trump? I think you'd find it hard. Perhaps this would be one of them. Biden promises to make Roe v. Wade the, quote, law of the land if Amy Coney Barrett gets confirmed to the Supreme Court and overturns the 1973 abortion ruling. Big words, little man, but I don't think you could do it. If you could have done it, you would have already done it while you were in the Senate for many decades. But beyond that, no one has done it. That's why they haven't touched this with a 10-foot pole. The part of the issue, too, is if they debate abortion in Congress, you might actually get normal people make the law realistic. So you couldn't have a Virginia state legislature who passes a ridiculous Virginia bill where they fully admit on the state legislature floor, I believe it was Virginia, that you can get an abortion right up to the day of birth. And I said that to someone who's a hardcore Democrat, and they went, "Nah, that can't be right." And I said, "Oh yeah, it's right. Do you agree with that?" And they said, "Well, of course not. That's too extreme." Most people, even pro-life people, don't want to use abortion as birth control. So, if you just leave Roe v. Wade way it is, you can kind of have that. Some people want that. I think that's too much. Again, you need something more reasonable. But, if you had an actual debate about it, then you'd have Congress say, okay, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months would be the cutoff. Something would be the cutoff. Some time period would be the cutoff, unless it's an extreme case. Yeah, I think, this is just a total lie on his part. He wouldn't dare bring this up. Biden on debating Trump next week. I'll do whatever the experts say. Come on, man. What does that mean, dude? They're looking for leadership from you. Okay? From you. That's the whole point of electing you. We want you to not obey the scientist, hear the scientist, but don't obey them. They're not in charge. You're supposed to be in charge. I'll do whatever the experts say. You should be saying something like, I will certainly consult with the experts. Or, I will take the experts' advice under consideration. Something like that. Not, I'll do whatever the experts say. Oh, what if they tell you to go home and quit the campaign? I don't think you'll be doing it then. So, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says he'll listen to what the experts say to determine whether it's safe for him to return to face off next week against President Trump, who's battling the beer virus, the second of 3 scheduled general election debates. I'll do whatever the experts say it's appropriate to do, Biden told reporters as he boarded a flight on Monday to campaign in battleground state of Florida. The former vice president said he and Trump are scheduled to face off next Thursday in Miami, Florida. Listen to the science. If the scientists say it's safe, then I think it's fine. Yeah, well, you're probably saying that because you know they'll say it's safe, but I'd like to see you not show up. I'd like to see you go, oh, I can't show up. The scientists say it's not safe. Oh, Trump would have a field day with that. I bet you wouldn't listen to the scientists then when it would make you look bad. And when the rest of the DNC would be howling, no, you have to go. You have to win, Joe. Go. And you want to hear some more inappropriate comments from Biden. These are just the recent ones. Oops, wrong one.
Last year alone, $1.2 billion in overtime was denied for hourly workers who are not unionized. $1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens? They make you management. You can't get paid overtime. And you see it happen.
I had to play this one. I just saw an animated version of this. I mean, what the hell is he talking about? And I am taking it a bit out of context. He's talking about overtime and pay and whatnot. And he's trying to, but he's like, he's completing like 7 different sentences. It's not good look for him. Not a good look. This is from December. But here's something happened today.
All of a sudden, seeing a hell of a lot clearer. I seen, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Trump saying that? The explosion that would come out of the media if Trump said anything close to that. I mean, that's just the racism of low expectations. And this one is the worst one in my view.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too. So it's great to see you. So thank you.
And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too.
Yeah, that's Cringe Compiler, man. I mean, he's got a lot of them in there. It's just bad. It's just bad. Biden, he's got the creep factor, he's got the age factor, and he's got just, the racism of low expectations. He just assumes that only black people are working at grocery stores, I guess. I mean, why else would you say it that way? Why else would you say it that way? He's living mentally in the early 60s, in the days of corn pop, I guess. It's bad. Trump's living in today. He's a master of Twitter. Biden, does he even know what Twitter is? I doubt it. I doubt Biden has tweeted even once. It's sad. It's sad to watch this feeble old man go up against Trump. Trump, who is, for his age, Jesus, he just continues to amaze. I mean, he is nonstop energy. I'm surprised it's taken him this long to end up in the hospital at the rate he's been going. And look, does he feel like 20 years younger after going to the hospital? You bet he does, because probably the first time he got a bunch extra sleep. They pumped him full of drugs. He was sick, and now he feels like $1 million. This is probably the first sort of real rest he's gotten in God knows how long. I mean, he's the president of the United States. He was probably working himself to death. Joe, can you imagine Joe on that schedule? I can't. I can't see Joe surviving. I don't know if Joe's going to make it to the next 2 weeks. Quite frankly, 2 or 3 weeks. Is that all we have left? It's the 6th. So we got 24, maybe 27 days left, something like that. No, let's see, 35. 25 plus 3. 28 days left. 28 days left. And thank God. I, for one, will be so glad when this election is over. I'll state my prediction again for the umpteenth time. Red tidal wave. Total red tidal wave. It won't be 100% red, but it'll be as close as you can get. And the shock, the epic meltdown will be 10 times worse than it was in 2016. Because these guys have set themselves up for it. And it'll be worse. They can't imagine it. They can't see it because they are ensconced in their ivory towers. They are so beholden to the narrative, it has consumed them. And many of the people who believe it too. I talk to them, and it's just, you can't talk to them. You can't have a rational discussion. They're living in a foreign reality in which we're living under Orange Hitler, and they're living under another, they just don't live in reality. They're the resistance. All right. Joan and I got stuff to do. So thanks for tuning in. Smash like and subscribe. Check out the books, Wokistan novel, and all 5 books of the Pineys. Joan and I will see you tomorrow. Say bye, Joan. Goodbye, Joan.